So I know y'all miss Meghan McCain on The View. Hi, welcome to JOA. If you're new to my channel, please click subscribe and click the bell button so you will be the first to know when I upload. I'd really appreciate it if you do subscribe and you do click the bell. It is free. A lot of you guys are new. You don't subscribe and click the bell. So please subscribe and click the bell. It's free. So Meghan McCain is the most high profile host that does not give a damn about her job. Okay, she's always preaching to fire her as if she is needed on The View. Like, she's like literally always preaching to, like, she don't care, like, fire me, so telling Joy Behar one time she does not have to come to work, and even Van Jones that they can replace her if they wanted to.
The idea of you being accused of being a racist is offensive even more than most people.
I think it's the worst thing you can call anyone.
Why do you feel that way? Were you raised that way? I mean, why?
Yes, and I come from, I think people maybe forget, it is not, I don't know the experience of a minority. I'm certainly not, I'm a privileged white woman that has a senator for a father, but my little sister is adopted, and there's a very famous political moment in 2000 when my father was running for president, when Karl Rove had a whisper campaign done that my father had an illegitimate black child who's my sister Bridget. So at a very young age, I had to sort of reconcile why would that even be a bad thing? Why does it matter that I have an adopted sister? I am not saying in any way this means I have experience.
I think it's important for people to understand that because you have a sister, you've had a certain set of experiences, and you've seen an impact of racism in your own life. That charge hits you harder than it might hit somebody else in a casual conversation.
It scares me too, because I think it's the worst thing you could call anyone. I think it's hands down the worst thing you can call anyone, especially a public person, is that you're a racist blank. And I also think it's thrown around too much, because if I'm racist, then what is Richard Spencer? And I think that there has to be delineations, which I know just like me saying that in particular might make people change the channel. But I think it's thrown out too often. But I will say that for me, of all the things that have ever been said or accused, it is the most deeply hurtful. I have taken it home to me at night. I'm just here to ask questions. I'm here to represent where I come from. I'm here to represent my party. I'm here to represent my family. And honestly, if people don't like it, use a rotating seat. You can replace me. It's like having a residency in Vegas. So, you can have somebody else do it instead.
Well, we want to keep you right where you are on The View and right here. We're going to come back.
For now, I'm still employed.
Exactly, which we like a lot.
And she really doesn't care. And one of the reasons why she doesn't care if they fire her or not is because her mother is worth a fortune, being a Harris of Bud Light. So Meghan has a huge inheritance, and her alone is worth like $4 million. So she has her own money as well. And so Meghan, however, will only quit The View for two reasons. The first reason is if Whoopi quits The View. Meghan always has her way when Whoopi's moderator, and Whoopi defends Meghan a lot, except for those few spouts that had, "Girl, please stop talking now." And so even when she first got the job, Meghan McCain called Whoopi the lady of The View and basically dismissed Joy Behar, because Joy Behar been there more than double the time than Whoopi has. And so Whoopi's also a good friend of the family. And while Whoopi was also on her leave because she suffered from pneumonia and there were things going on with her lungs, Meghan McCain was scared, and she was like, "Don't leave me ever again." So Whoopi's a big part of the family. And so if she does leave, which she's been considering leaving like every single year, then that would be one of the reasons why Meghan McCain will leave. So the second reason is if she has to talk badly about her uncle, Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden is also a part of the family and has known John McCain for like 30 plus years. And so Meghan McCain does not care if her politician friends are greasy. She don't care if they're greasy. She'll never talk about Uncle Lindsey Graham or Joe Biden. If they're her friends and they're greasy as hell, if they got some bad media attention out there, she won't talk about them. She barely mentions her Neanderthal husband, Ben Dominic. I call him Ben Dominass. Barely talks about him. And there's a big reason why she barely talks about her husband, because one of the things about her husband is his father, Meghan McCain's father-in-law, Doug Dominic, works for the Trump administration. And Mr. Doug Dominic is no different than his son, Ben Dominic, because they're both Neanderthals, and they both allegedly committed unethical things in their career. You know, Ben Dominic, being a plagiarist, was fired from the Washington Post. Washington Post is seen as like a big, you know, it's like the New York Times. Like, it's seen as a big publication to work for. But Ben Dominic abused those privileges. How he got that job at the New York Post, considering he's a college dropout? Connections. I mean, there's no other way. I don't know how he got that job, but through what connections he got that job from, but that's how he got it. And so, and now he's like the co-founder of this right-wing website called The Federalist, and he often gives Meghan McCain talking points on The View, because Meghan McCain is not smart when it comes to politics. The only thing she likes to talk about is the housewives, and she really doesn't have a clue when it comes to politics. Yes, she's been shadowing her father all these years, but for the most part, she's Meghan McCain is a liberal, is a Democrat. Okay, she's a pretend conservative. All right, no matter what she says, she's a pretend conservative, which is why her husband said at first that he did not want her back in 2012. You know, and then when she saw him on Bill Maher, that's when Meghan McCain followed him, and then her husband, Ben Dominaz, the opportunist, followed her back so he can use her as a resource to get ahead in the game of this industry, because you got to know how to play the game. And even if it's a marriage, like the Conways, they'll do that, okay? They don't care if it's not love, as long as it's opportunity and money and power. That trumps, yes, trumps, no pun intended, that trumps marriage, okay? So Ben Dominaz got on that ass and married Meghan, and now they got a baby. God bless that baby. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you will be the first to know when I upload deuces. Yay!